South Korea has prioritized supporting the culture industries for close to 20 years, really since the turn of the millennium. And there's a lot of discussion of how this came about. It really started with the film industry, and the pop culture industries also took off probably about 10 years later. So what the Korean government gets out of this is soft power, basically. The success of Korean cultural exports has really, I think, changed the way that people around the world think about Korea. First of all, it's increased the recognition of South Korea as a cultural producer. And it's also kind of made Korea a very desirable place, I think. And in a lot of ways, the South Korean government has taken its cues from the ways in which the US has become a kind of global hegemon, in large part because of the popularity of its film industry and pop culture industries. So I don't know that I would say that Korea should be taken as a model for development, given that the trajectory of South Korea's rise from the ashes of the Korean War involved authoritarianism and the suppression of human rights. In terms of whether or not the Korean culture industries could be a model, I would say yes. Really, the growth of South Korean culture industries as an export industry and as a mechanism for, again, helping South Korea to gain recognition in the global community as a source of pop culture conventions and ideas and images, that dates to the post-authoritarian period, and it really is marked by the change in South Korea's attitude about popular culture. Whereas during the authoritarian period, popular culture was seen as sort of a tool to keep the masses distracted, and also as an area that sometimes needed to be monitored or controlled. I think from the 2000s onwards, it started to take a different role in society, and the South Korean state in particular started to see the potentials for popular culture exports to become a source of soft power or to become a mechanism for promoting South Korea abroad. So in that sense, the South Korean government actually, it funded a lot of festivals, and it used the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism to help South Korean creators to develop their projects and then to distribute those projects abroad.